red stripe. Premier League. I miss one bag of gold medal pan me now. Red stripe alone champion boy go. Banner pour them a singing anthem. Red stripe, watch out. Man shall I be the forward boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy score. Every goal when I run from boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy now. Pop down we run the marathon boy. Them wish I never made it that the champion boy fan. Now man I done a songsters boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy.
A bird's eye view of the lovely Tony Spalding Sports Complex in St. Andrew venue for Red Stripe football Mondays tonight. It's a pretty cool night tonight, but I can guarantee you that the action on the field will be hot. It usually is when Arnett Gardens and Montego Bay come face to face. This is a battle of five-time champions Arnett Gardens against four-time champions Montego Bay United. These two teams have won 4 of the last 5 Premier League titles in Jamaica, and they have between them been first or second 18 times in the history of the local Premier League. But the problem is that both are out of form. Haven't won in their last 3 matches so far, George.
Yeah, Arnett a little bit inconsistent to start the campaign. Montego Bay woeful. Of the two teams, Arnett will feel as if they haven't done too badly this season, and another win tonight will take them further up the table. But Montego Bay United, Lance, it can't be overstated, have been abysmal since the start of the campaign. They don't look their usual selves.
No, they certainly don't. They're 10th in the standings at the moment. This is the culmination, or almost the culmination, of match day 8. I say almost because the UWI Waterhouse match was suspended because of rainy conditions at the Mona Bowl on a Sunday. But look at those results. Reno lifting themselves out of the relegation zone, 2-1 over Dunbeholden. Humberland putting more misery in the Harbourview camp. Cavalier and Mount Pleasant 1-1. Portmore losing the lead because they were beaten by Tivoli Gardens.
Yeah, shock result in some respects. Portmore United almost always win at home, and Tivoli Gardens robbed them of the 3 points, leaving Tivoli atop the standings on 16. Then Portmore and Mount Pleasant on 14 points each. Arnett Gardens in 6th place, 10 points from their 7 games, and Mobay United 7 games as well, only 9 points on the board and a -4 goal difference, Lance. But what about Harbourview and Ricardo Baby Gardner? They need a prayer at the bottom of the table. Only 5 points to show from their 8 games today.
Yeah, real problems for Harbourview for sure. The thing is, it's still early season, so while these two teams, Montego Bay United and Arnett Gardens, aren't really pushing themselves toward the top of the table at the moment, no real panic, because if the Arnett Gardens team win tonight, they'll be 3 points off the lead. And if Mobay wins, they'll be just 4 points off the lead. Arnett Gardens at home, they would want to present themselves as a home team and establish themselves early.
Yeah, look, they have to show why this place is called the jungle. They have to assert their dominance on this home turf. An early goal will certainly settle the nerves, Lance, settle the team, allow the team to be fluent and attacking. And yeah, they have to ensure that they take these 3 points to put themselves up the table. I hear you say it's early in the campaign, but Arnett want to be up there justing for a position at the very, very top of the table, rather than being dragged into a mid-table dogfight.
Yes, especially last year, they started the season with a 19-game unbeaten run. Pretty different this year with the struggles. Montego Bay United, they have travelled over 100 miles to Kingston here for this fixture, and they would want, especially with Jermaine Wozencroft back in their starting roster, to try to control things early.
They just don't look dangerous, Montego Bay United, in recent weeks. There's nothing much down the flanks. There's nothing much in the middle. Look, they're going to have to counter-attack win here, because it's a fact that Arnett Gardens will control most of the possession. So when they catch that, when they get possession in transition lands, yes, they have to make the most of it, Mobay United, if they want to take something from this game, which if they draw this game, it will be a plus for them. Arnett, anything less than a win will be a disappointment.
Yeah, they've been really struggling for some good results in the tournament so far. We are getting closer to match time. Let's go to our My 90 and Tamar Edwards, the Arnett Gardens midfielder.
Tamar Edwards, Arnett Gardens Football Club, Red Stripe My 90. Stand up for your stripe. Football means a lot to me because it keeps my mind calm and free. 15 years. Well, the community itself have the light like Kevin Wilson, Colonel Chingcho, I inspire us to play the sports. Well, football is a gem for the community to keep the place calm, no violence. Mona High School and Charlie Smith. Mona High School, our motto, to learn, to love, to serve. Charlie Smith High School, striving for excellence. I'm not playing football, I play a video game, spend time with my friends and my family. My game is an aggressive game, you know, hard and done. I'll be sitting in my own business place right now, making a lot of money.
Tamar Edwards, and we're just under 15 minutes away from the kickoff, a match that we expect to see goals tonight because both teams are at the moment among the worst teams as far as their defensive records are concerned. 10 goals conceded by both of them. Only Harbourview have conceded more.
Yeah, shot shy both teams are. We expect some goals tonight.
Yeah. This is the home of champions, Sportsmax and Sportsmax 2 presenting high-quality football and basketball for you. The NBA lives on Sportsmax. Thursday night, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock Eastern Caribbean time, the Houston Rockets in Oklahoma.
Yeah, and then same Thursday, the good defending champions Golden State Warriors, 10:30 p.m., 11:30 p.m. ECT on Sportsmax 2. The Milwaukee Bucks come calling.
We are getting ready for the kickoff. It's Arnett Gardens at home to Montego Bay United, a battle of giants in football, and some of the stalwarts from Arnett Gardens, Omar Davis, former member of parliament here and also finance minister
and former club chairman
of the PNP governing the government of the PNP in his day, among the fans here watching tonight. The fans are getting ready. We are getting ready. We're getting close to kickoff. Red Stripe Football Mondays and our pre-game show continuing after this break. It's a pretty cool night here at the Tony Spalding Sports Complex. Pretty humid as well. Not much chance of rain, not much wind. A great night for football. The field is in pristine condition for this Red Stripe Football Mondays fixture. Always a pleasure to watch Arnett Gardens tackle Montego Bay United. Founded in 1977, Arnett Gardens. They were second in the regular season last year, but didn't get through to the final. And they have won 5 Premier League titles in the past. Their last championship coming 2 seasons ago in 2017.
Jabir Johnson is one of their standout midfielders and has been so. That's him, the man in the center of the shot. Has some pace about him, usually works well in the back with O'Neill Bigger Thompson, who was here at Arnett Gardens for several seasons. Thompson is gone. Jabir Johnson has accepted more responsibility in the defense. Covers ground quickly, no nonsense tackler, hard tackling, hard running center half. A difficult customer for forwards to deal with, especially the forwards who love to be on the ball, love to dribble the ball. Jabir Johnson is the man who normally bites the ankles.
Yeah, very outstanding player, and there's their creative midfielder. Vishal Harris has not seen a lot of playing time because of injuries over the years, but this is a high-quality player, 25-year-old, former Charlie Smith player, also forced himself into the national setup because of his outstanding skill. But as we've said, George, hasn't done a lot because of injuries, but he is a visionary player, and they're looking for a good outing from him. Eugene Williams is the coach of Arnett Gardens.
Arnett Gardens, big assignment this evening against Montego Bay United. What is your plan for the approach to the game?
Well, our plan, is to get 3 points, to go step up in the table.
The team has been inconsistent since the start of the campaign. What can you put your finger on as the main reason for this inconsistency?
Well, as I said, inconsistent because of having new players coming in. And the system, they have to understand the roles and the function. But rather, it's going to take time, and I hope today it will be on the positive side.
Goal scoring, unusually for Arnett Gardens, has not been optimum. Only 9 goals this season so far, and you've conceded 10. Is it that the understanding and the bedding in between the new players and the existing system, that is the reason for you not scoring as many as you would have liked?
Well, I wouldn't say that because, as I say, I've watched all of our games. We created much chance than the opponent. But as I say, luck is not going our way at the moment. But as I say, I hope tonight we can start have new things.
And so, based on where you are now, the players you have at your disposal, the understanding of the system as time goes by, are you confident that this team will be ready and ripe by the time the playoffs come?
Well, as I know, Arnett Gardens, we're always ready. We're ready to reach the top 6. But as we have tonight, we just want to gather 3 points and just be in the top 4.
Montego Bay United, formerly Mobay United, founded in 1972, 4 RSPL titles, the last one coming in 2016. Last year, though, disappointing. They finished 9th and among the also-rans. Kenil Curlew is their captain, Mobay United, defensive midfielder. A lot of energy and industry about him, reads the game well, loves a tackle. Kenil Curlew can get himself into disciplinary problems sometimes, but he is a workhorse in the midfield. If he has a good game, Mobay United's chances of winning increase significantly. If he is ordinary, don't expect that midfield of theirs to be resilient and to withstand the Arnett Gardens attacks.
Curlew, one of a few former St. James High players that played on the 2008 winning the Costa Cup team for St. James High. Nicholas Omponsa, he's a Ghanaian player that is very strong on the set plays for Mobay. Has had at least 1 goal so far this year. I think he had 3 goals last season. So he's the kind of player that, although his primary function is defensive, he does get some goals.
And with Ladale Richie gone now, Lance, he is undoubtedly the general in the defensive third of the field for Montego Bay United. He's their leader.
Yeah, the Ghanaian getting ready to battle here for the Montego Bay United team. As we said, they've traveled so far here for this fixture. And Vassar Reynolds is the man in charge at Mobay.
What's the mood coming into this game against Arnett Gardens?
I think the mood is good. We had a pretty good week. One of the things is that we're still searching for our identity. And as I said before, prior to this game, that we have been conceding a lot of goals. The amount of goals that we think will not take us in terms of achieving our objective. So we have been spending a lot of times in terms of our defensive shape, in terms of our defensive structure. That we did pretty well against Reno, and we're hoping to continue that into the game tonight against our attacking Arnett Gardens team.
Knowing your teams over the years, Vassal, one of the things we can count on is that you're going to be strong defensively. We see signs of solidity in the Montego Bay defensive unit, but from the midfield forward, it just looks as if it's not gelling.
Quite so. We have been trying a number of coordination inside here. Some of the youngsters would have not, found their footing as quick as we would have liked, and still searching for the combination and the balance between the experience and youth. Presently, we would have gone over the last game. Would have gone for youth with a couple of experienced players, and we're just searching for the right combination. Hopefully, the combination that we decide to go with tonight will get it right for us tonight.
Vassal, are your boys sitting in the dressing room or at training, looking at themselves, feeling sorry for themselves, or do they look around and, given the quality that's in the squad, believe that they can lift themselves up this RSPL table?
Honestly, as a team, we believe every game we sit down and we analyze, and we believe we're not doing as well as we ought. We are not performing nowhere to our capability, and that is what we have been asking the team to do, along with the training and the preparation. We have enough quality players that if they do perform to the best of their ability, this team can do well, and that's what we're working on.
Finally, is it that you and your coaching staff are searching for the answers, or do you know what the answers are and are just working with other things to make everything come together?
We're working with the pieces. We're trying to put the puzzle together. As I said, we have brought in several youngsters and trying to help them to find their footing in the league. So it's a matter of finding the right blend. We know that the quality is there, and we just keep working.
Vassar Reynolds, championship winning coach in schoolboy football with Raciz in the Da Costa Cup and Wilmers in the Walker Cup competition, now in charge of Montego Bay United. We are just about 5 minutes away from the kickoff. The fans are getting ready for what we expect to be an explosive match tonight. Montego Bay United getting ready to battle Arnett Gardens. Back with more after the break.
Soundstars boy, Red Stripe Premier League champion boy. say one bag of gold medal pan me now. Red stripe alone champion boy go. Pan a pour them a sing anthem to. Red stripe, watch out. Man shall I better forward boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy score. Every goal winner run from boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy now. Back down we run him marathon boy. The red stripe Premier League champion boy. Yeah yo. Nah man I don't a songsters boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy.
Back at the Tony Spalding Sports Complex, it's Red Stripe Football Mondays on a cool night in the capital of Jamaica. Arnett Gardens, 5-time Premier League champions, up against Montego Bay United, 4-time Premier League champions. And this is a battle that many of the fans here at the Tony Spalding Sports Complex have waited pretty long for. Always an intense battle when Mobay and Arnett Gardens come face to face on the football field.
Yeah, and looking at the Arnett Gardens lineup, we're going to come to that shortly, Lance. It's all out attack based on the 11 that they've selected. Mobay United, their strikers are out of form. They don't have their main weapon, who's Dino Williams. So you look at the squad, at the Montego Bay United squad, Lance, and ask the pertinent question: from where will the goals come?
Yeah, that's certainly so. Carl Tyrrell, the man with the whistle tonight, leading the players out. The last 17 meetings between these two teams have seen 6 Arnett Gardens wins, 6 Mobay wins, and 5 drawn results. But more pertinent is the information that there's been no Montego Bay win in the last 5 meetings between these two teams. So although historically the battles between them have been intense, in recent times Arnett Gardens have had the better of Montego Bay United, who are certainly struggling and on a 3-game winless streak at the moment, as are Arnett Gardens, but Arnett a little higher up the table than they are.
Yes, indeed, by virtue of their superior start to these seasons, that has given them a cushion, notwithstanding the struggles of recent weeks. As we look at Dr. Omar Davis, bespectacled, the former member of Parliament for St. Andrews South. That's the constituency that this football field is in, and the former chairman of Arnett Gardens.
Yes, we get ready now for the Jamaica national anthem. Arnett Gardens presently 6th in the Red Stripe Premier League table with 10 points. Montego Bay United 10th in the table with 9 points, both looking for 3 points tonight. And the odds have to favour Arnett Gardens here against the Montego Bay United team that we saw as recent as last week Monday night in Montego Bay, George, when they were 0-0 with Reno and never really showed the kind of quality that we know that Mobay has presented over the years.
Yeah, Mobay played as individuals in attack against Reno in that 0-0 draw, that dull 0-0 draw, rather than a cohesive unit. As I said to Pastor Reynolds in the pre-match interview, Lance, defensively they don't look too bad. There is solidity there, you can see progress there. But it's really up front that they are struggling. And if you can't score goals in this league, you're not going to get any joy.
The coin toss from referee Carl Tyrrell. The two captains in the middle, Marvin Morgan for Arnett Gardens. Curlew from Montego Bay United. They would have clashed these two in the 2008 Olivia Shield. Marvin Morgan for St. George's College and Kenil Curlew for St. James High.
Yeah, battle from schoolboy days replicated at the senior level here in the RSPL. We're going to come to the lineups shortly, Lance.
Yeah, there's Damien Hyde, their experienced 32-year-old goalkeeper. At the back, Ramon McGregor, the ex-Barbican player. Jabor Johnson, who was our 90 well, he was one of our players to watch for sure. Ronika Anderson, Edwards, our My 90 feature man. Ronaldo Wright, who scored last week for Arnett. Marvin Morgan, Vishnu Harris makes a return to the Arnett roster, starting Damari Deacon, Fabian Reid and Steve Clark.
Yeah, of the 10 outfield players, Lance, 6 of them are focused only on attack. Ronaldo Wright, Marvin Morgan, Vishnu Harris, Damari Deacon, Fabian Reid and Steve Clark. This is an ultra-attacking Arnett Gardens lineup with pace to burn, especially in the wide areas through Deacon and Steve Clark. And the race marksman Fabian Reid, who hasn't had the sharpest start to the season, but he still remains dangerous. He's there to profit from the build-up play.
Yes, and Montego Bay United starting roster, different from the one that started against Reno last week. Nazim Matali Grant and Vasheen McBean out, and in their spots we have Jermaine Woozencroft and Odin Nish. Ian Miller in goal, Aponsa, Barrett, Wilkinson, Robinson, Curlew, Ambusler, the 38-year-old, Otti, Fletcher, Woozencroft and Nish.
Poor Jordan Fletcher in the match against Reno last week. Didn't have anybody to supply him with the ammunition. Woozencroft comes back in now. Will the Magic Man be able to link up with Jordan Fletcher? There wasn't any support for him against Reno, and Alan Otti was only used sparingly by his midfielders brought into play. Let's see if Mobay can get that right.
So, Carl Tyrrell getting ready to whistle this one off, and there they go, Arnett with the kickoff. Giving the ball away immediately. Robinson forcing the ball upfield. Arnett now on a quick counter. That's not driven on goal, just wide. Left-footed effort there from Deacon. And didn't really get a hold of that one. I thought he had enough comfort to get a proper shot off.
But he didn't do badly, you know, Lance, because he found himself in a central position. Doesn't normally operate from there, normally cuts in from the flanks, but found himself in that pocket of space between the lines, between the defensive line and the midfield line, and decided to try his luck.
There's Eugene Williams coaching Arnett Gardens now in place of Jerome Waite, who is on national duties with the Jamaica Under-20s at the CONCACAF Championship in Florida. Of course, a championship-winning Manning Cup player with Charlie Smith back in 1988 and 1990.
And looking at his baseball cap, Lance, I wonder if you recall his nickname from high school days. They called him Big Head. And the answers to Big Head.
Oh,
does
yes.
he?
Yes, he does.
There you go.
He's a part of a very strong Charlie Smith team in the 1988 with Christopher Dias and Byron Earl. There's Vassar Reynolds, the man in charge at Mobay, who changed their coaches pretty often. Vassar Reynolds, current coach of Rocise and the Costa Cup football, won World Cup titles with Wilmers while he was in Kingston, and a solid coach. Also spent some time at Humberland.
Yes, he did.
Harris. Reid puts the chase on and wins it well. Wins a corner, and Ponson puts the challenge in. But I think there will be worry early here in this Montego Bay United team, George, because their defense has been breached twice already in the opening minutes of the game.
Yeah, I'll tell you more shortly.
The corner inside. Miller with a punch away. Curlew trying to get it further away, but comes under some pressure. Harris. Barrett intercepts Ambersley. There goes Otti. Does well, Otti. Still Otti. Does a bit too much. Shoved off the ball. Wins a free kick in a dangerous spot. Mobay United on the counter.
Yeah, was shepherded into a section of the field that he really didn't want to go. Didn't want to go centrally direct where the crowd was. Wanted to go on the outside of the defender. Still has that MBU carved into the side of his head. Morgan, well, McGregor first needed to tackle him, and then the lash by Edwards. Yeah, Fletcher going down under a tackle from Edwards and landing awkwardly.
Yeah.
But before that, Lance, there was a peach of a pass played by Vishnu Harris into the path of Reid, who had to just cut it back for Damari Deacon, who was arriving at nuts in the 6-yard box. He didn't see him.
Yeah. Reid has been struggling for his best form this season. Was tremendous last season and the season before. But so far this season we've seen him look a little bit off colour.
This is a free kick in a dangerous position, Lance.
It certainly is. And there are several Montego Bay players looking to be interested.
From here, central, you don't need power. You just need to curl the ball to whichever side you're going to go. Probably high. This requires a delicate effort, a deft touch, rather than to blast it goal. It's difficult to kick it hard from here, over the wall and beneath the crossbar.
See who strikes it. Straight into the wall. Curlew tries to keep the pressure on. Arnett's defender standing firm. Deacon's long ball downfield. Barrett with a clearance. Oh, the ball given away. Deacon, speedy. Too much weight on the pass. Reid scrambles to keep the ball in and isn't successful.
Yeah, that was the wrong pass from Kamara Deacon. Again, he had options to his right, inside. And he's asking, what should I have done? Well, you should have passed it inside to Bishop and Harrison was to your right.
So we've already seen action on two ends of the field. I would suggest, George, that unlike last week when we had no goals, that we should get goals tonight, because Arnett is the type of team that will score goals, and based on their current form, probably concede goals as well.
Yeah.
Deacon is crossing side, easily handled by Miller.
Funny, I was reading something about Pep Guardiola this week where he said that if a team habitually scores 4 goals and concedes 3, that's not a good team. And I laughed to myself because I'm saying, well, that's Arnett Gardens' blueprint. I score 4, you score 3, no problem. I score 1 more, I win the game, I'm happy. And that approach, Lance, has brought them all of their Premier League titles that they've won. That's the way they play their football.
Yeah. At the moment, they've had 9 goals, but they've conceded 10, Arnett Gardens. So their propensity to giving up goals with the attack Arnett Gardens still with them, but they're probably not scoring as much as they're accustomed to. Miller with a punch out, doesn't get rid of the ball completely. And now Mobay scrambled the ball away. Edwards. Wilkinson reads the play well. McGregor across to Johnson. Good pass from Johnson. Deacon. He gives McGregor a bit of a run back to retrieve. Johnson having acres of room deep inside his own half.
Arnett have been dominating this game so far. Most of it played in the Mobay United half.
Mobay stretched here to come up with a result. Deacon, alert, takes the throw very quickly. Reid under pressure from Barrett.
You spoke about Fabian Reid and the struggles he's had this season. He's due a dip in form, lads, because he's been nothing short of sensational the past 2 seasons.
Harris. Barrett with a high clearance out. McGregor alert in defense for Arnett. Delightful pass through by Morgan. Slid over the head and over the top.
Misjudged it there, Steve Clark. It was an excellent pass from Marvin Morgan to assess the situation so quickly and know which pass to produce the right pass. This is Marvin Morgan. Reads the situation brilliantly. The right pass. The finish from Steve Clark, though, the wrong one.
Yeah, just too much of a heavy connection onto the ball. That just needed a delicate lob over the goalkeeper's head because the goalkeeper had committed himself forward.
Yeah, but what's been happening to the Mobay United midfield and defence, Lance? They've been passed around as if they're not there, as if they're training codes Arnett are playing against.
Yeah. This has been the problem for Montego Bay United. And part of the reason why they haven't won in their last 3 matches. 0-0 against Rena last week, losing 5-1 to Cavalier the previous week. 1-1 with Humberland, 3 weekends ago. Did squeeze a 2-1 win at Harbourview last month, their most recent victory. Morgan looking for Deacon. Wilkinson intercepts. Otti goes away down the right. Edward shadowing. Rosencroft. Poor left-footed effort on goal by the Mobay number 11. At Ponsa, back to Barrett, who is being hustled by Reed. Oh, Curlew shows good skill. Fletcher won't get to this before McGregor does. Edwards for Arnett. Deacon alone in the middle of the park. Too much weight on the pass from Deacon looking for Reed.
Mobay United getting killed in that midfield though. Curlew having a hard time getting his foot on the ball. Dwayne Ambusley has been invisible. This may be his first touch there, the veteran.
Yeah. I think the pace of the Arnett Gardens at the moment unsettling the Mobay team.
Very aggressive start from the home team. High octane, Lance.
Yeah, for sure. Ambusley under some pressure. Deacon makes him work. Fletcher. Anderson shoves Fletcher off the ball. Belatedly referee Tyrrell's whistle goes.
Remember we were remarking last week about how Reno was playing the game so slow that Ambusley was walking through the 90 minutes. He'll not have that luxury tonight.
No, not against this Arnett team, who you correctly pointed out earlier on, based on the team setup, has a focus on offense tonight with a lot of players who like to run at defenders. Otti. Poor effort from former St. James High player.
Yeah, you say that, Lance, but I don't mind that snapshot from Otti, just trying to get something going for his team, because they're being pushed back since the start of this game. I just don't think Jordan Fletcher is fit, Lance. It just looks to me as if he's carrying something. Just doesn't look fluent as the Jordan Fletcher we know in his prime from the Cornwall College days.
Does have some strips of Khaleesi tape on from last week. Dribble forward there by Ronaldo, right, brought down and he's hurt.
I'd like to see that again, Lance. I thought that was a clean tackle, you know, from the veteran Dwayne Ambusley, who had to get it right. This is right, driving in at the defenders. The tackle will come now. Yeah, it's a free kick.
Yeah, he got the leg before the ball.
Yes, he did.
Did get ball eventually, but he certainly made contact with the leg before. Right, menacing dribble forward there. Scored for Arnett in their 1-1 draw last week against Waterhouse. He's a former player for Arnett at the moment. One of quite a few Arnett Gardens players on this current starting roster that played their Manic Cup football at Charles Smith High.
Ever-present fan. A man who gives referees a hard time, Arnett Gardens regular. Wright is back up on his feet is the good news, Lance.
Yeah, he's setting himself up to be a real threat for Arnett tonight against Mobay.
You know what, Lance, seeing that tackle on replay, Ambusley's lucky not to be booked.
Yeah. Full-man wall set up here by Montego Bay. More players getting close. There's Miller, who did well against Reno last week. Oh, the effort straight into the wall from Vishal Harris. That was heading goalwards. Fletcher. Harris, very skillful player on the ball, but he miskicks here, and Curlew wins it, and a quick counter-attack. 1 against 2 at the moment here. Otti goes for goal. Straight into the back of Ramon McGregor.
And then good goalkeeping from Hyatt, because Renike Anderson almost as if he lost track of the ball. This is Vishal Harris. Oh, false touch there. Curlew, quick pass. Otti didn't have much going for him. Only had niche support. Good decision to go for the shot. And then Hyatt goes well here.
That was going goalwards for sure. right on the attack here. Morgan fetches close to the corner flag. The pressure from Shamar Robinson. Based on the strong flank plays by Arnett Gardens, we expect to be having a busy night at left back tonight, Shamar Robinson.
Yeah, he's the opposite of Jerome Waite, isn't he, Eugene Williams? Sitting cool and watching it. Jerome would be prowling the technical area. Looking rather menacing.
Harris goes wide. Clark. Deacon with the attempted bicycle kick doesn't make contact. Niche stops it but doesn't win the ball. Johnson for Arnett. Deacon loses his balance in the ball. Wilkinson. Otti is fast but not fast enough. Johnson gets the ball back to hand. But a high-tempo game at the moment. Arnett playing with a lot of pace and Mobay having to try to keep pace with them. So the energy levels in this game after 14 minutes pretty high.
Yeah. Arnett playing with a 3 centre-back stance. When Mobay break, a couple of times they've braked through Otti. The Mobay players have been outnumbered. 2 attackers against 3 defenders.
Obviously didn't like his forward passing option, so got the ball back home. Now they have room on the front end. Wozencroft. Jordan Fletcher comes under a strong challenge there from Renike Anderson and goes down hurt for the second time in the last 7 minutes.
I'll tell you what, that was a fair tackle, but it was a thunderous follow through from Renike Anderson. You heard that from here, heard him get ball and then get the man. And that's a calling card. That's the kind of tackle lines defenders like to put it on strikers early. That was a fair challenge, but the follow through, his foot cannoning into the ankle of Jordan Fletcher.
Yeah.
And I feel your pain, young man.
Wow. There's a kinesio tape I spoke of on the left leg, just stretching from the thigh to below the knee. So there are injury issues there for Jordan Fletcher, the 20-year-old. Anderson, a no-nonsense tackler, former Tivoli Gardens central defender, played his Costa Cup football with Bremerville. Fletcher still looks to be suffering some discomfort.
Yeah, it'll take a little while to run that off.
Standing 20-year-old Jordan Fletcher, watched here by his coach, Gus Reynolds. MVP and Golden Boot winner for Cornwall College when they won the Costa Cup 2 seasons ago.
And because of how good he was in high school, you really want him to do well at this level. Yeah. Because it would mean a lot for Jamaican football.
That's right. Mobay getting passes together. Ambersley. Ambersley putting himself in some trouble there, but does get the pass off eventually. Wozencroft. Otti uses his pace to keep the ball in. McGregor. Wozencroft under pressure. Robbed by the swift moving additional Harris. Now Deacon. Edwards under pressure. Curlew. Wilkinson exchanges passes with Ambersley. Wilkinson tries to slide the ball through, but it was pretty predictable. Place inside, taken on the chest expertly by Anderson. Back to his goalkeeper.
Yeah, knew exactly where Jordan Fletcher was, knew how much space the forward had to close down to get to him and could have affected that pass.
Comes under some pressure from Deacon and is forced to knock the ball out for a throw. Oh, it doesn't go over. Otti does well to keep it in. Fouled by Harris on Ambersley. Smile between the 2 nationals. I think they played for Jamaica 2 seasons ago on the same team.
Yeah. Mobay getting back some semblance of control, and that's because Ambersley has been more prominent. Been on the ball, trying to dictate the tempo for the boys in green and blue.
Niche tries to put pressure on. Johnson cool. McGregor. Good 40-yard pass forward to Reed. Morgan does well. Anderson. Clark has a lot of pace. Clark. Still Clark. Just popping up there on Reed, not able to get something going. Now there goes Wright. Still Wright. Mobay defending in numbers and get the ball away. Each with a good pass to Rosencroft. Fletcher. Mobay patient. Wilkinson. Ambersley wants it and gets it. Fletcher. Marvin Moore in tackle as well. Ambersley. Rosencroft. Curlew. Tries to strike but is blocked. Rebound falls favorably to Clark, the speedy one who goes away down the right side.
Thought he should have taken on his man down the flank lines because there was a lot of grass in front of him. I'd have knocked it one time, closed my eyes and sprinted down the line.
He does have the pace to effect that successfully.
I was going to tell you that in a team of very fast players, I think he's the fastest, and that's saying something in this Arnett Gardens team because there are some swift travelers in it.
Well, he went to Donald Quarry High School, George.
There you go.
Donald Quarry, the Olympic 1976 champion over 200 meters. So it stands to reason. There's Fabian Reed, MVP last season in the Red Stripe Premier League.
I was saying to you, Lance, and that's Steve Clark, the road runner. I was saying to you that Fabian Reed is due a dip in form. You can't maintain the levels that he has had for the last 2 seasons into a 3rd season, so it's understandable.
Arnett having more time on the ball at the moment, 52%. But Mobay, after a pretty dodgy start, have now settled down and responding to the early Arnett Gardens challenge. Midway the first half. Mobay looking a lot more competitive now in this phase of the game than they did in the opening 5 or 10 minutes.
Arnett guilty, though, Lance, of trying to funnel everything down the middle. A couple of times, the man in possession trying to go to the more.
Additional Harris on the pressure, hustle off the ball by Ambersley. Not legal, says referee Tyrrell.
Yeah, the veteran now has caught the referee's attention. He wants to be careful. May pick up a yellow card for his next foul. Yeah, I've been saying that sometimes Arnett can switch the ball to the flank. There's a man always in space standing. They're just trying to force it down the middle, and Mobay have massed bodies there, as you've recognized.
Yeah. There's Miller. MVP last week in our Red Stripe Football Mondays fixture when he contributed to Reno not scoring. Morgan. Inadvertent to drop the ball there for Morgan. But still winning themselves a corner kick.
Mobay have sent everybody back except Rosencroft, who's been sent forward. He's the only forward player in a green shirt. Everybody else in the box defending this corner.
Great corner right across the box, and Miller gets there well. Fletcher misses the ball. McGregor's attempted clearance doesn't gain much distance, but he does well second ball. Wilkinson for Mobay. Good block there by Deacon. Receives the pass from Reed. Good cross inside. Reed with a header on goal. Now Harris! Whistle before the shot. Keneal Curlew don't hurt in the box. Arnett Gardens goal called back.
Look, the referee is closer to the action. Was that the right call, though? This is a difficulty. we have to use a replay. This is Wilkinson being closed down by Deacon. Very good closing down. Reed works it to Deacon now. Dribbles all the way to the line. Intelligent play by Deacon. At the last play, chips it back. Curlew, yeah, he's fouled by Fabian Reed.
Yeah, knocked over. So although Harris pumps the ball in right-footed, shaking the nets, it doesn't count. Curlew hurt from this challenge from Reed. Knocks him over. Harris thought he had his second goal of the season.
Especially because it was a head injury. The referee was obliged to immediately signal that there was an infringement. Not that he was slow to do so in other cases, but yeah, head injuries attract particular concern.
Harris scored one of 2 goals in their 2-1 victory over Humberland. That would have been the second, but he has to do more tonight to formally increase his goal tally. Approaching the half-hour mark. Mobay's 19-year-old goalkeeper. Ponce with a header out. Finds Curlew, who is now recovering. Anderson. And Ponce shows good touch, but his back pass a bit short. And Miller in with an urgent challenge.
Yep.
Great play here. Clark. Reed under pressure. He goes back there with a challenge.
Yes, it was a good challenge to hurt himself in the process. I thought Reed was just a little bit slow off the mark. Not that Steve Clark's pass had any great pace on it. He could have met it there on that front line.
Play restarts now with the Arnett throw. Visional Harris, very, very dangerous in these positions. Edwards to right. Finds pass from here to Reed. Reed sets it back here. Can Wright get the left-footed shot off? No, he doesn't. Still has the ball though. Great challenge from Wilkinson. Deacon shows skill. Shoved over by Wilkinson in the end. Free kick to Arnett. Deacon is furious.
Let me see if he's a dive, Lance, because this is an excellent tackle from Wilkinson. And then Deacon goes forward. And Lance, that's nothing. He can't the referee there, Carl Tyrrell.
Well, the kick is to the far post. Mobay having trouble getting. Oh, what a shot there from Visional Harris, but it's deflected behind for a corner.
Very good defending, putting his body on the line. Was Ponza, who took that maybe in the stomach. Point blank range from Visional Harris.
Yeah, that was heading for goal for sure.
Submitting.
So, Visional Harris with 2 strikes and goal, 1 into the net, but called back because of a foul a few seconds early on Curlew. Miller in goal for Mobay goes down with an injury, and Eugene Williams, the man in charge of Arnett Gardens tonight, in the absence of Jerome Waite, who's on national duties in Florida. IMG Academy, where Jamaica and all 30 other Caribbean teams are contesting the CONCACAF Under-20 tournament.
I tell you what, I'm not saying he's not injured, Miller, but if I were him, I'd be doing exactly what he's doing. His team need a breather, because they've been against the ropes. Did work themselves back into the game a few minutes ago, but Arnett have stepped on the gas once again. And this is good for your goalkeeper to go down and just give the team a chance to regroup, to breathe.
Yeah. Arnett have been rampant in the last 5 or 10 minutes of this fixture.
Yeah. That's a chicken foot, lads.
Yeah, it's part of what Red Stripe Football Mondays is all about.
And nobody says chicken's foot. It's chicken foot.
approaching the half hour. Miller is ready again. St. James High goalkeeper has been an understudy in this Mobay United setup for a while. Now getting his opportunity. Arnett on the attack. Morgan, Reed, slides the ball forward. Wow! Clark doesn't retrieve it well. Header toward goal from Deacon, who follows up and attempts to hustle the young goalkeeper. He remains firm. Deacon, a high-energy young man. Has a lot of attitude as well, Damari Deacon. A player on his best day. A handful for defenders against him.
Yeah, he's a nuisance, is is how I describe him.
In the positive sense.
Yeah, a nuisance to the opposing defenders. Annoying. You think he's gone and he's there.
Huge clearance downfield, and the Arnett fans love that. Reed putting the chase on. Wow, Miller. Oh, remained calm there. And he is showing a lot of composure for a teenager, although that looked a little dodgy.
Yeah.
But he knew the pace of the ball. He knew where the top of his 18-yard box was, so he felt confident that he had things covered.
Yeah, and he knew it wasn't Steve Clark chasing it. Bet you he wouldn't have done that.
Edwards. Harris. Fletcher has changed sides, but doesn't get by Edwards. Fletcher had started out on the left, he's now on the right. 36 goals for Cornwall College in schoolboy football in 2016, as they won the Costa Cup title, their 13th overall Cornwall College.
Ronaldo Wright caught a hand in the face from Jordan Fletcher just now.
Right, like Fletcher, 20 years old, among the youngest players on the field at the moment. Here's the incident that brought the ball.
Yeah. And forearm smash.
Otti. Ambersley. Niche. Under pressure. Shoved off the ball by Anderson. Oh, recovers well, does Niche. Now Anderson recovers. And a huge battle here for the ball outside the Arnett 18-yard box. A miss kick there by Barrett sends Reed going down the right side. Harris to Clark. Can Clark get the shot off? He does, but pretty tame.
Saw him score a goal last season from distance, Niles. It was very, very special, Steve Clark. Intelligent from Vision of Harris. Good first touch from Clark. The shot just lacking a bit of punch.
Had 5 goals last season, Steve Clark, for Arnett Gardens. Hasn't hit the mark yet this year. A lot of robust challenges in midfield here for the ball. Ambersley. Wow. Niche with the back pass, it looks pretty innocuous.
I thought he was trying to control it.
Like a trampoline. Wilkinson with a long ball forward, looking for Fletcher. McGregor takes control. McGregor has been doing a good job at central defence for Arnett Gardens since taking over the throw from O'Neill Bigger Thompson, who Arnett lost to Humberland in the summer transfer.
Yeah, I really love his aggression though. No nonsense, not trying to leave the ball out of defence, not trying to look culture, just does his job with aggression. That's what I like from a centre half.
Yeah, ex-Barbican player. Significantly, George, was his handball in the dying moments of the qualifying game against Mount Pleasant that gave Mount Pleasant the penalty that won them the match and sent them to the Red Stripe Premier League at Barbican's expense.
All the small details can determine history.
Arnett. Oh, the header to the side netting from Renika Anderson.
Ought to have done better, but he was offside.
The type of player that will sneak up on these set plays and get some goals for Arnett. Yeah, just creeping behind Wilkinson in defense. Renike Anderson. Morgan. Deep. Big cross inside. Had some danger there, but Clark wasn't able to get there in time.
Yeah, 2 to aim for, Clark and Reed. Just a little bit too long. This is a big game for Eugene Williams, Lance, because he wanted to impress, to show that, yeah, Jerome Waite is not here, but I can do it as well. But the team can excite the fans, play good football and win. So it's a huge evening for him. He wants a good show, but more than anything, he wants 3 points.
Yeah, it's been a long association as well between Eugene Williams and Jerome Waite. Waite had been assistant coach of the Charles Smith team to Oliver Clue, who was coach at the time of Charles Smith when Eugene Williams captained Charles Smith to victory in the Manning Cup. Deacon goes for goal from distance. Over the top. Enterprising strike from the little man.
Wayne Ambrose is having a go at the defenders, and rightly so. There were about 7-9 green shirts. They watched Deacon do this, turn, have a look at goal, and nobody tackled him. That's criminal. Look there that the shot didn't find the back of the net.
Fletcher. Puts the chase onto this one. Fine effort there from Deacon. And now Eugene Williams gets animated.
Yeah, because he didn't like how one ball rendered his defense impotent to the extent that Jordan Fletcher was in down the right-hand channel.
For Montego Bay United. Before this game, I would have bet quite a lot of money, George, that we would not have a 0-0 scoreline. We're approaching half-time, no goals yet.
Yep. Yes, Lance, like you, I would have bet. This is the 3rd foul from Dwayne Ambusley. The 2nd on Ronaldo Wright. Carl Tiernan again, that's a clear foul.
Yeah. Was nearing the end of his playing days at this level. He's 38 years old now. A quality player, but certainly against these younger opponents, the pace of the game will give him problems.
Yeah. But given how the pace at which this game is being played, I don't expect him to last at the 90. But he's such a good player. You never lose it between the ears and the brain.
Yeah.
And Ambrose clearly has that. As I've said several times, he's one of those players I'd have loved to have played with. Offers so much security, so much assurance.
Arnett still dominating ball possession. They've got 54% of the time on the ball at the moment. Just over 8 minutes remaining in the half, plus some stoppage time.
Rosencroft goes into the booklands for a nasty tackle on Samara Nika. He disagrees with the call by referee Tyrrell.
Tyrrell looks angry. Had already dished out 23 yellow cards. Ooh. What do you make of that, George?
I don't think it was a yellow card.
I'm not thinking so either.
I don't think so.
Yeah, so I think Rosencroft had some reason there to be disappointed with the yellow card shown to him.
Yeah. His studs were exposed, yes, but his foot had left the ground when he made contact with Deacon.
Wilkinson takes no chances, hits the ball toward the corner flag. And he was a little weary there of trying to head the ball out. It's back into open play.
To tell you what, all of Arnett's good work so far this half-land would have come to naught and would have been useless if they don't score before halftime.
Yeah. Johnson. Anish putting the chase on. Deacon. Good tackling there by Barrett. Now curling with the counter-attacking play. Slides the ball forward for Niche to chase. Anderson getting close to him. Not a good cross by Nish. Although Curlew almost got to it. Really brave a player. Small in stature, fairly thin as well, but doesn't have any qualms about taking on bigger defenders.
And receptive with his pace, Lance. Just now when Kenny Curlew was breaking forward and the attack from Mobay United, there were 3 Mobay attackers and 6 Arnett defenders running back. That's not a good situation for the home team. And the rest of the Mobay supporting cast, they were jogging in behind the 3 men breaking forward against the 6 defenders.
Obviously. Shot at goal.
That was never his forte, even in the prime of his career. As another man goes down, I think it's... Is it Fletcher? Yes. Banged up Jordan Fletcher.
As he was last week against Reno as well. It's been a tough mark for the young man. He did spend a short time as well at San Jacinto College in the USA after leaving Cornwall College.
There's a man in that Arsenal woolly hat. Kevin Pele-Wills, who knew a thing or plenty about scoring goals at every level.
Yes, Charles Smith and Arnett Gardens as well.
Yep, and that's the man who ushered in an era of sustained success at Arnett Gardens, Dr. Omar Davis, former Minister of Finance in Jamaica. A man who once said that Alan Greenspan, the former head of the US Federal Reserve, told him that he was a world-class finance minister, lads.
Wow.
And Raymond Anderson, JFF Vice President in the CONCACAF branded shirt. Man from St. Mary.
Yeah. So 0 the scoreline at the moment. Arnett on the attack. Reed being bumped into from behind by Barrett. Edwards. Morgan. Johnson. Deacon. Blocked by Robinson. His clearance goes only as far as to Johnson though. Big long cross inside. Ambusley getting the ball away. Only as far as to Raniki Anderson.
Yeah.
Wow. It's almost like a volleyball match at the moment where the ball going from end to end.
Yeah, right again down injured. This time Curlew with the tackle. Arnett's problem, Lance, is clear. It's impatience. Everybody in the final, in the close to the Mobay United goal wants to make the final pass.
Right, goes for goal over the top.
Yeah, good effort. But that's the problem. Everybody in and around the box wants to be the one to make the final pass. Sometimes you make the extra pass, you move into space, and you now give the new ball passer or ball handler 2 options rather than the one you had. And that's been why I'm sure Eugene Williams will tell him if this goes into the break at 0-0 that, gentlemen, we're impatient.
Yeah. Had a lot of offensive play in their game so far tonight at Arnett Gardens, but not able to make it tell. Mobay. The whistle. Foul committed by Reed, says referee Tyrrell.
Yeah, he used his hands to rough up the defender to gain position as he sought to gain possession.
Fairly good strike by him, right-footed though, but the play had been called back already.
And this is why coaches spend so much time on the touchline screaming at players on the field. It's to do the simple things. Because we've seen players many times over-elaborating and making the extra pass when they should be more direct. But the opposite is happening with Arnett Gardens. They're being too direct when they should take some time, make another pass sometimes. Open the penalty area up.
Harris hustles Ambersley off the ball. Free kick taken very quickly. Mobay trying to catch Arnett off guard. Otti. Pass easily intercepted. Morgan. as prominent in the game at the moment, Morgan, as he usually is. He's now though Morgan, captain of Arnett Gardens now. Right. Has room. Clark. Under pressure from Wilkinson. Just about a minute remaining in the half. It's time to be added on for stoppages. Edwards. Can't beat Uti. And Ponza. Curlews tries to sprint past Anderson, but Anderson uses his body weight and experience to shield him away from the ball. Morgan does poorly here and gives the ball away. Wozencroft on the counter-attack. Fletcher. Delightful ball through to Wozencroft. And Wesley back to Wozencroft. Oh, poor pass from Wozencroft.
Yeah.
So a little hard to understand why Arnett can't score, given the fact that they have so many quality offensive players on their roster. A little more understandable with Mobay, because the bulk of their attacking strength, really, as a couple of players go down injured, not really on the field at the moment, with Dino Williams out injured. And the fact is, George, last year their leading goal scorers were Dino Williams, Leslie St. Fleur, and Ronaldo Wright, and Ronaldo Rodney. And there's a collision that brought the injury there to Barrett and Marvin Morgan, both with injuries at the moment. So Williams is out injured. St. Fleur has duties with the Bahamas playing Nations League football, CONCACAF Nations League football, and Ronaldo Rodney has gone to Mount Pleasant. So 3 players who led their scoring last year, Mobay, not with them at the moment.
Yeah.
So their scoring was a little easy to identify. Not the same here about Arnett Gardens. Yes, they're missing Kamal Malcolm and Lennox Russell tonight, who are among some of their scoring options generally. Deacon tries to get away from Robinson. Robinson alert to the challenge.
What a beautiful take from Fabian Reed just now. That chest control was tremendous with the defender pressuring him in his back.
Yeah. Quality player, Reed. So, and that's the end of the first half. No goals here between Arnett and Montego Bay United. A half that has provided a lot of energy. There was once where the ball hit the net from this man, Vishnal Harris. Mara Deacon has also been prominent in this game so far for Arnett Gardens.
Yeah, they've done a lot right on the attacking front, Arnett Gardens, except score. Jordan Fletcher has had a rough time, has been on the receiving end of some rather meaty tackles from the Arnett Gardens defenders, and hasn't had much service from his midfield, which has struggled at times to contain a slick Arnett Gardens team. But guess what? Mobay have won the first half because it's 0-0.
Yeah, that's right, and they're the traveling team, and they're the team with the inferior form. So Arnett will feel more disappointed of these two teams with a scoreless half-time position. We'll be back with the half-time, with the first half highlights and our half-time features after this.
One bag of gold medal pan me now. Red stripe alone champion boy go. Pan up pour them a singing anthem. Red stripe, watch out, watch out, watch out. Man shall I better forward boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy score. Every goal winner run from boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy now. Pop down we run him all again boy. The Red stripe Premier League champion boy, yeah yo.
A first half of high energy and robust tackling from both teams, but no goals between Arnett Gardens and Montego Bay United at the moment. A half dominated in the most part by Arnett Gardens, who from the very opening whistle had been putting Mobay under pressure.
Yeah, this is Ronaldo Wright. His cross hung up to the back post, not convincing goalkeeping, but in the end it's effective enough, and Ponza helping him there with the header. Then this lovely pass by Marvin Morgan for Steve Clark to love the goalkeeper, but he loves the goal.
Yeah, Clark should have done a lot better with that. He just needed to caress that ball over the goalkeeper's head, but just got too much of a heavy boot onto it.
Excellent closing down by Damari Deacon, who will get on to Fabian Reed's pass. Lovely play, drops the shoulder, goes down to the byline, whips it back, just chips it back, and Reed fouls Curlew even before Harris finds the back of the net.
Yeah, Reed just charging into the ball there, looking for the header as Curlew tried to defend it.
And then the Mobay United defenders gazing, inviting Damari Deacon, daring him to shoot. He does shoot high.
Yeah, so after 45 minutes of football, 7 shots attempted on goal by Arnett Gardens, just a couple of them on target. None of the Montego Bay United shots on target. They've had 3 attempts. 17 fouls recorded so far in the match, 9 of them to Montego Bay United. 1 yellow card, and that was the 24th yellow card issued by referee Carl Terrell for the season. Arnett Gardens still holding more possession, and they've actually forced 3 corners at the moment to Montego Bay United's none. So at halftime then, 0-0 between Arnett Gardens and Montego Bay United at the Tony Spalding Sports Complex. The fans are getting ready for the second half action, which they hope will provide some goals. In the meantime, we go to Baller Talk and the 38-year-old Twain Ambusley from Montego Bay.
But you make Pogba turn around and you try to go with the forward for what? Me don't know. And you can't run fast at the bar when he play. Just close him and he don't turn and go back. So I left him one down there so he can't do nothing. Because he can't get no ball. I guess Pogba clever. For if you see him, and see him around there, so as Pogba said, so you know he will turn and go so. I mean, I think Pogba reaches so yet. One more man, come here.
Good touch.
Your man move from there, so don't you move your
Let go.
Good. He's going to hold up him and I sing off on it.
Get 2 bucks.
Come on, next man up now. Yeah, get it. Hey. Hey, the PS. Get on the ball. Well, we got 25 minutes. We got 9 morning. 25 minutes we got 9 morning. And it seems like we're ready for goal. Honestly, that seems how we get boring. I don't understand why man don't get boring to play football. We can't get boring to play football. 25 minutes and we drop them already, man. Drill change, watch it. Drill change. We are jump again. We are jump again. You still have to make the movements to me, but we are jumping.
Nazi, check. Check, yeah, check.
Still have to make the movement, but we are
check and go there, so.
No, the ball. So me I come. You know say no keep me. I come. And then I make the way. It's simple movement. We are the come so we can't be predictable all the while. So every time we come we play. You come this time here. But we know say no you, but we are make a quick turn to support back yourself. Well done. Good. Now I'm stride, you mind stride. Tap it down, tap it, time to run. Come again. Good. Now I'm stride. Well done. Come keeper. Well done. Hey, check. Aye. Raise it with it, man. That's why I go up in here. Pitch good. Yes, teacher. Yes. Tap that. Yes. Go.
Well done, Nazi.
Get you with him now. I feel look for myself. I ain't been at game for. Because Ray Charles and them and they don't play them. Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder never come on a football field. Because they know say them can't see. That's how you go, Jack.
Dwayne Ambersley on Dwayne Ambersley and the entertaining ball atop halftime feature. We're at the Tony Spalding Sports Complex. Red Stripe Football Mondays, 0-0 at the moment at the halftime break between Arnett Gardens and Montego Bay United. Coming up this week, La Liga on Sportsmax 2. It's a Saturday morning fixture at 10:15, 11:15 Eastern Caribbean time. Barcelona, the defending champions, up against Real Betis. Also, Celta Vigo against the reigning UEFA Champions League holders, Real Madrid. The struggling team, they're 9th in the La Liga at the moment. That's on Sportsmax Sunday at 2:30 p.m., 3:30 Eastern Caribbean time. Half-time at the moment at the Tony Spalding Sports Complex. The fans are patiently waiting for goals. They haven't seen any so far between the 6th place Arnett Gardens and 10th place Montego Bay United. Back with the kickoff for the second half after this.
One bag of gold medal pan me now. Red stripe alone champion boy go. Pan a pour them a singing anthem. Red stripe, watch out, watch out, watch out. Man shall I made a forward boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy score. Every goal when I run from boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy now. Back down we run him all a can boy. The Red stripe Premier League champion boy. Yeah, yo.
Back at the Tony Spalding Sports Complex, 0-0 at the moment between Arnett Gardens and Montego Bay United at the half-time break. A first half that saw a lot of energy and several shots on goal. There's Damari Deacon. He was one of the busier Arnett Gardens players. They've had more possession, they've had more shots on goal, they have had more general offensive play in the game over Montego Bay United. But all of that at the moment amounting to naught, because that's the half-time score. 0-0 between Montego Bay United and Arnett Gardens.
Vishal Harris had some good moments in the first half. The Arnett Gardens midfield general. Here he is in possession. Releasing Fabian Reed with a lovely pass, just drifting it over the top of the defense. And Reed couldn't make a connection that was positive for Arnett Gardens. And he lost the ball here in midfield to Keneal Curlew, battling here with Dwayne Ambersley. These two had a running battle. Did find the back of the net, Harris did, but it was after a foul awarded for Fabian Reed's tackle on Keneal Curlew. And then Harris again with another effort that's crashed into the side of Nicholas Amponza, the Ghanaian. Then there he was linking up with Steve Clark. Would have gotten an assist had Clark managed to beat Ian Miller in a goal. That's plays for the UWI. Anthony Greenland, Lance, in the stands. So spying on the enemy, Greenland is one of the UWI's hot shots.
Yeah, I guess he would be more looking at the Montego Bay United team, because UWI did defeat Arnett Gardens by 3-0 a few weeks ago, so they've already taken care of Arnett in the first round.
I thought you were going to say he was looking at the young miss who was in the pair of denim shorts in front of him. Some people would say jeans shorts, Lance, but as I've told my 7-year-old, nah, it's denim. I'm waiting on Renika Anderson versus Jordan Fletcher to stop talking about the young Miss Lance. As soon as I get that, there we go. So this is Fletcher. That was a hard tackle. Fair tackle because he won the ball first, Renika Anderson did. But Fletcher took some of the follow-through from the tackle and didn't really get much change out of the Arnett Gardens defenders, especially Anderson, who was never far away from him when he got the ball. Fletcher, here they go again, the big man, exerting some pressure on the youngster for Mobay United, and he's winning. Well, he won the battle in the first half. Anderson did. Let's see if he can repeat the trick in this second half.
Yeah, Anderson, a very robust player, probably about 200 pounds at the moment. Very, very strong player, and always poses immense hurdles for opposing forwards who try to get by him. Fletcher, 10 years his junior, 20 years old. Struggling with some injury issues. We see him with some kinesio tape there on the left leg, stretching from the taped up from the thigh down to below the knee. There's Alan Otti, former St. James High player, the Costa Cup winning player as well.
Does pose a threat. I saw him at Waterhouse and I was frustrated by how I just thought they never used him properly. I see him at Montego Bay United and I get the same feeling. So I'm wondering now if Otti's the problem, Lance, and not his teammates, because he has so much raw material to be a very, very dangerous player, but he's just inconsistent, maddeningly so, for his teammates and his team.
Yeah, I think he only scored 2 or 3 goals for the entire season last year, the last half of which he had spent, as we said, at Waterhouse. Scored only 4 goals the season before that, and 3 goals in their championship winning season in 2016. And with a player of his pace and the position that he plays, you'd expect him to score more goals than that.
Indeed.
Kick-off, and Montego Bay United in their green. Colour that is not fully appreciated in these parts.
You had to, didn't you? You just had to. Usually I expand, not that point.
Of course, Arnett Gardens is a stronghold of the People's National Party.
And expands his own point. There you go.
Early in the second half, and Otti backs off and tries to get a marking up job, at least zonally marking up one of the opposing players at the moment. Harris tries to force the ball through the middle. Mobay now on the counter-attack with Otti. Goes for Niche. Johnson takes care of business.
Expertly done by Johnson.
Niche putting the chase onto that one. Did score one of Mobay's 2 goals in their 2-1 win over Harbourview earlier on this season.
Up front, Montego Bay United just look like a collection of odds and ends. No complementary parts, it doesn't seem. While up front, Arnett Gardens are just rushing things a bit. They did so in the first half. Let's see if they cure that in this second stanza.
Yeah. Trying to fit their roster together, because to be quite honest, without Dino Williams, a significant part of their goal-scoring thrust or goal-scoring ability pretty much disappears if Williams isn't there.
Yeah, and losing Dino Williams, and not long before that, Owen Gordonlands, we must remind the viewers. Yeah. That's like Spurs losing Harry Kane and Christian Eriksen.
That's right.
The team won't be as potent, because it can't be.
As we said, add to that, Leslie St. Clair, who scored 7 goals last year. Ambusley gives the ball away. Johnson reads it well. Ponza. Very solid defender on Ponza. Robinson hastily gets the ball away. Morgan. Anderson. Clark gets Morgan going. Morgan has room here. The cross inside. Oh, the vital header there from Barrett. Did really well, Barrett.
Very good defending. Lovely cross from Marvin Mr. Man Morgan. Deacon was waiting to apply the finish. He didn't get a chance to. Linking up with Steve Clark. Look at this. Bending into the path of Deacon. But Barrett intervened.
Yeah, Deacon was just ready to pounce on the far post. McGregor. Oh, misfires to Fletcher. Fletcher. Wow, stopped by the rock-like challenge of McGregor. Here comes Morgan for Arnett. Clark. Edwards. Morgan. Ponza to Ambusley. Fletcher. Robinson. Fletcher under pressure. Protects the ball well. Robinson goes along, but no accuracy on the pass. This is right for Arnett. Long diagonal pass aiming there for Clark, but Robinson gets in the way. Again.
Those two again. It's been a battle royal, which the man in the red shirt is leading comfortably on all judges' scorecards.
Just the physical presence and strength of Renike Anderson. Johnson with a clearance out. Barrett miskicks, but Wilkinson is there to tidy up. Deacon under pressure. Referee offers a throw to Mobay.
Haven't seen enough of Jermaine Wozencroft this evening for, well, this night for Mobay United.
Yeah. Not sure if Serenos' coach is convinced he's 100%, but did miss last week's Reno game with a knee injury picked up in training.
So there you have your answer, Lance. He can't be 100% fit.
Yeah.
If 7 days ago he was unavailable because of an injury.
Curlew looking for Fletcher! Fletcher still! Curlew! Ball cleared off the line! Wozencroft headed over the bar by Johnson.
What a tremendous defensive sequence. That was good football all round. Very good from Mobay United. The patience and the intelligence. Arnett, desperation stuff. Lovely pass from Curlew. Hyatt came, wasn't quite sure. Blocked the initial shot. Intelligent from Fletcher. Brave. And then Jabir Johns gets his head to it to put Wozencroft's shot over the crossbar.
And the initial block by Renike Anderson, he cleared the ball that was definitely heading goalwards. And then the header over the top from Johnson. But Mobay having their best moment of the match by far.
Damien Hyatt, though, he didn't come hearing out lest he made contact with Fletcher and he went down and got a penalty, so he was cautious coming out, but he has a huge frame and he spread it well.
Fletcher with a corner for Mobay. To the near post. And on the right gets there first, gives up another corner.
But that has brought Pastor Reynolds up off his bench, the Mobay United coach.
Yeah, so Mobay had no corners in the first half, I don't think. But in 7 minutes of the second half, they've quickly forced two. To the far post it goes. And behind.
That was a tremendous sequence, though. Fletcher realizing quickly that from where he was, he couldn't shoot at goal, played it back. And Arnett Gardens, not that they were lucky. Ooh, bad giveaway.
Yeah, very clearless there with a clearance. Wozencroft has it. Niche tries to get Wozencroft back into the play. O'Morgan tries to dribble out of trouble. And is successful in the end, or is he? Foul against Curlew.
The two captains clashing.
Yeah.
Two number 9s. What do you know? Lottery in the morning, Lance.
Yeah, there's Morgan holding on to his shorts for real. Not that the referee could have seen that, because based on where he was, he would have been unsighted.
Yeah, but a warning sign for Arnett Gardens though.
Yes, for sure. Oh, good build up here from Arnett on the right, on the left. Robinson stretched every sinew of his body there to get the header on that. Clark. Morgan. And Ponce with a block. Headed down by Harris. The ball set back here. Edwards with a strike, but it's blocked now. Johnson has a rebound for Arnett. Edwards. Deacon. Good quick tackling by Wilkinson. Rosencroft does well. Niche. Oh, he breaks the play up inadvertently. Just takes the momentum away, but Mobay have it back now with Fletcher. Fletcher's cross to the far post, much too close to goalkeeper hand. The whistle, because there's a player down in the centre circle.
Mobay looks so much better in the opening 9 minutes of this first half than they did in the entire 9 minutes of the second half than they did in their entire first half, Lance.
Yeah, they've lifted their game, Mobay. Here's where Morgan got hurt just now from Curlew,
who did nothing wrong.
The two captains.
The follow-through, studs on the foot.
Marvin Morgan. Let's see if he'll be okay. He's a real warrior, this little man.
Doesn't go down for the sake of it.
No, he doesn't. Scored the winner for Arnett Gardens in their championship 2-1 triumph over Portmore United in the final 2 seasons ago.
Ricardo Oldham warming up. It's as if he's going to come into the midfield. Well, that's provided that Morgan didn't recover from his injury, but he'll play on. Yeah, it'll take something significant to have the skipper leave the field for Arnett Gardens.
Yeah. Still looks a little unsteady, Morgan, but he'll be fine. There's Ambusley, oldest player on the field at 38. "11 minutes into the second half."
Oh, another bad kick from Hyatt.
Marvin Morgan helps him out and wins the ball. Wow. Reed being hounded by Amponsa, who's played solidly in defense for Mobay tonight, as he usually does. Morgan. Right. Looks for Reed, who puts the ball down well. Whistle.
Handball.
So Mobay now beginning to show the kind of quality that brought them 2 championship titles in the last 5 years. Wow, Fletcher there dribbling into trouble. Robinson. Wow, Curlew misses the ball, and now 2 against 3 at the moment. Now more Arnett players arriving in numbers to support the front thrust. Oh, great play there by Deacon. Maybe a little bit too much weight here for Morgan. The shot attempted on goal. Niche is the one that comes back in defense and helps out.
Bad communication. No way Fabian Reed should have touched that ball, because behind him Ronaldo Wright was arriving on his favorite left side. And he didn't get a chance to really back the shot forward because Reed interfered with the play. That wasn't Fabian Reed's pass. This is the play. Lovely by Demari Deacon. A bit overcooked the pass was. Very good from Marvin Morgan to get the cross. And look at Wright coming through, Lance. He wanted that. He wanted that.
Yeah. Yeah, Reed shouldn't have gone for that. He would have been forced to stretch too much for a ball that was leaving him. It was falling more comfortably for Wright coming on the back post.
And for the 3rd time, that man, Jordan Fletcher, is down.
Considered in 2017 the most exciting schoolboy footballer in all of Jamaica's schoolboy football. Warren Barrett, the goalkeeper coach for Mobay United. captain of the Jamaica team to the historic 1998 World Cup in France. Historic for the Reggae Boys, of course. Then becoming the first English-speaking Caribbean team to qualify for the World Cup finals.
Yeah, change is going to be made. Player getting stripped. Yeah.
Yeah, so Fletcher's night is over, and he knew it. He's had several knocks tonight, Fletcher, so he's off. So Mobay short-stopped for the moment, and under pressure, Deacon. There are two players in the middle waiting for the ball, and Ponza deflects the clearance. Right. Edwards. Deacon. Reed in the middle, waiting for it on the penalty spot. Deacon twisting and turning. Right. Does really well here. He gets the cross inside, but it's again blocked. Is that on Ponza again?
Yes, it does.
Oh, he's tremendous at central defense tonight for Mobay.
Number 10 coming in for Mobay United. Well, he's coming out, and Trevon Walker comes in.
So the 19-year-old Walker is in now for Mobay. Arnett putting the pressure on. Can they get a shot off here? No, they won't. Niche dribbles out for Mobay. Under pressure, Niche. Now he gives the ball away. Deacon with a strike on goal. Oh, and the ball saved off the line by Miller, the 19-year-old. Second time.
That was beautiful from Damari Deacon. Poor play from Niche. Dribbling the ball out of his defense when a clearance would have sufficed. And off the left foot. That was a cracking effort. And the save having to be completed in two parts.
Well, he was our MVP last week, Monday night against Reno, in a match that was really difficult to select an MVP for because there weren't any clear standouts in the game, but he did have some good moments, and he's having some good moments again tonight.
Yeah, one of the best games I've seen Damari Deacon play. In fact, one of the best TV games he's played. Most of the times we're here, Lance, he's disappointing. Not tonight.
Yeah. Does strike the ball well with both feet. Two solid left footers we've seen from him so far tonight. Reed tries to break free. Morgan with a strike, just wide on the volley. Brings Miller frantically to his near post.
Tremendous from the Arnett Gardens captain. This is Reed. On Ponza's clearance, cannons off Ambosley. Morgan over the head of Ambosley. That's lovely skill. And ooh, that would have been some goal. That would have been spectacular.
And Morgan tends to score spectacular goals. He hardly scores ordinary goals, this man. And that would have been one from the top drawer.
Yeah, doesn't do tap-ins. Meanwhile, Ian Miller is down with an injury, the Mobay United goalkeeper. Saying the problem is his hip.
So Arnett looking for a win tonight. That would put them within 3 points of the leaders, Tivoli. So far they've been denied by a Mobay team that is trying to keep pace. So the early season form here for Arnett, not the best, but I get the impression that the Arnett management staff isn't pushing any panic buttons at the moment because there's a long season ahead and they know they have the quality to recover.
And why should they? Because again, the first round, 33 games, that's a marathon. This is what, round 8? It's a long way to go.
Yeah, I think Mobay's problems are a little more stark because they have for a while now not been able to deliver the kind of football that we know they can. And when you think that their current leading goal scorer is Orlando McBain, who is currently on the bench injured from 2 penalty kicks, the It tells you about their scoring woes.
Yeah, Wright goes down again. Quick take of the free kick.
Clark being chased by Robinson. Morgan. Oh, with a cross inside. Oh, the ball cleared by Wilkinson. Deacon bravely puts his head there. I'm not sure if he was kicked in the face, but I know he almost got kicked in the face because the clearance was being made at the same time.
Yeah, he was holding the side of his head.
Knocked off the ball by Wilkinson. Harris goes for the strike. Deacon still down hurt, and he looks to be in pain. Referee Tyrrell finally stops the play.
Yeah, saying he got hit in the stomach. Damari Deacon.
Yeah, we talk about how brave this player is because he doesn't hesitate to take on opposing players. Even just then, we saw him trying to go through a cluster of Mobay players, and at least 2 of them here. Yeah, and the shot from Wilkinson, I think his abdomen crashed heavily into the knee of Curlew, and that's maybe where he's feeling the pain.
Yeah, I'd go with that.
Yeah, pretty small man. Maybe if it wasn't for his height, which is about 5'7.5", 5'8", George, he could be a jockey.
Yes. Perfect weight.
I would guess him to be about 120 pounds.
Yeah.
Walker, the substitute, chasing onto that one, not getting there.
You make a good point there. He may be the same height as the 5-time champion jockey Omar Walker.
And Lester Piggott, the great Britain, who was about 5'7.5", I think.
Yeah, they call him Longfellow.
Walker can't get the cross in. So looking to make an impact, this 19-year-old who just came on, Trevon Walker. But he'll find in this Arnett team a tough nut to crack.
You know, you say that Mobay United's problems are more stark than Arnett Gardens, and you are correct. But the return of a proven goal scorer can transform this team's fortunes. All of a sudden, they'll just be a more confident team when their talisman Dino Williams returns.
Yeah.
Fit and healthy.
And we're told that his return may not be too far off.
Yeah.
Did have a groin surgery some months ago, did return, but then hurt his hip in a freak accident at the Montego Bay training venue. And reports are that he's back in training, not yet match ready, but the expectation is, or may I say the hope is, for Montego Bay United that he should be back playing before the end of this month.
Yeah, we did see him in that edition of Baller Talk with Ambersley, participating in training.
Yeah.
So his return can't be far away.
Arnett in control. Wright does well close to the line. Edwards. A bit of a streaky pass there that doesn't find the target. Curlew wins it. Walker. Curlew knocked off the ball by Morgan. Free kick to Mobay.
Yeah. Just unbalancing his opponent, Marvin Morgan. It's been a battle between those two, the 2 number 9s wearing the captain's armband.
Otti. Niche. Oh, tries to go for goal there, but it's easily blocked. Ambersley putting pressure on, but Morgan stands firm. Clark. Wow.
Lucky.
Yeah. Now Wright has a lot of room on the left side. Has good pace, but is knocked off the ball by Walker. Free kick to Arnett, just below the center circle. Both teams winless in their last 3 games, and at the moment,
it's a yellow card.
Yeah, it seems so, from Curlew for the challenge.
Trevon Walker for the grab on Ronaldo Wright's shirt. as he was bursting forward.
Yeah, right. A very explosive kind of player. And does have some moments of brilliance. A shake of a head there from right negatively, putting some question marks onto his continuing the game.
Yeah, the substitutes getting busy. Hardware walking to the coach to get some instructions. So to Ricardo Oldham, who is giving the fourth official a note now. Looks as if Arnett Gardens is going to make 2 changes, Lance.
Yeah. There's Oldham, former Camperdown player. Appears as if he'll be the first one in. And there's Jamil Hardware, a summer transfer from the now relegated Boys Town. A player of high quality. Did have a bit of an injury early in the season. Not too sure if he's 100%. Ball punched out. Wozencroft. Ponza tries to get the ball away. Barrett does in the end to Robinson. Robinson going forward. So Wright exits the game.
Reginald Harris's night is done, because I was wondering if they were going to play him and Jamil Hardware together. The answer is no.
But at Hamilton, the fourth official, effecting the changes. So Harris exits the game. Maybe not 100% match sharp at the moment, Harris.
Yeah.
Not a lot of playing time since the start of the season because of injuries and so on.
With him not quite there tonight.
Yeah, so Hardware is in for him. Hardware, a high-quality player with a lot of quality. Let's see if he can make an impact on the game. Mobay already putting one of their subs in. Oh, Curlew tries to get through. Niche tries to spray the ball left to Otti, doesn't get there. Deacon tries to get Reed going. Hardware. Morgan. Knocked off the ball by Niche. Ambusley. Otti loses his balance on the ball. Johnson. Johnson cuts inside well. Ball set back here to Hardware. The left footer goes wide.
That wasn't the option though, lads. That wasn't the option he should have taken. Deacon was to his left, wanting to be played into space. This is Jameer Johnson running from defense, uses Steve Clarkson as a decoy, goes inside. Nice touch by Reed, and look at Damari Deacon standing to Jamil Hardware's left in space. That's where the ball should have gone.
Hardware is now hurt. Probably banged that left foot, the same foot that just dropped the ball toward goal. So time running out on both these teams. Arnett looking for the go-ahead goal. Corner. Oldham goes up for the header. And Nissan with a strike. Pretty poor. Didn't really get around the ball well enough and sprayed it wide.
Yeah, I can't blame my centre half for that kind of execution, Lance. Finesse and precision in this area of the field, not his forte. And he was under pressure.
Yeah. Does have the knack for scoring goals on set plays, though. Did score the opening goal in their 2-1 win over Portmore in the final 2 seasons ago.
Remember that?
It resulted from a corner as well. It was a set play.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, so he does present himself on plays like that with scoring opportunities. Wozencroft under pressure. Oh, McGregor slides in. Ambusley does well there. Takes the return pass. Good passage of play here by Mobay.
Superb.
Yeah. Wilkinson. Walker. Oh, look Pretty tame there, walk around that play. Just almost gave the ball away effortlessly. Morgan, wide to Clark. Tries to turn Robinson, and does. Can't get through though. And Ponza fights hard. Ambersley. Great play forward here to Otti, who sprints away, has good pace. Otti's cross inside. Oh, the ball slid away just in time by Renika Anderson.
Fantastic defending, excellent covering. His instinct told him where the pass would come. Could only come to one place, into the direction of Wozencroft. Brilliant wing play from Alan Otti. But look at Anderson, on point to close the door.
Yeah, just snatching the ball away there from Wozencroft, who was on rushing with an attempt to strike on goal. Just over 15 minutes now left on the clock. And amazingly, no goals between Arnett and Mobay.
One of the better nil-nil draws I've watched, Lance.
Third corner now for Montego Bay United. They have 5 players in the box. The corner is about to be struck. Good corner, or is it? It's onto the post. I think it went behind though, so
yeah,
it's a
curled
goal kick.
outside. Yeah, curled outside, then hit the post.
Yeah, it did look threatening coming across goal, but Hyatt plays a short pass to Johnson. Johnson has acres of room deep inside his own half. Gets his captain into the play. Edwards goes long for Clark. Clark knocked off the ball, but here comes Morgan. Referee's whistle calls the play back and awards Arnett Gardens a free kick.
Yeah, it was for the foul on Clark. He played the advantage. Steve Clark, it's as if his race is run. Number 27, his number is up. He's done for the night. Carl Tyrrell now signaling that the change came away. Number 23 coming in, Javoni Sims.
So Javoni Sims now in, a 25-year-old former Charles Smith player himself. Also went to the University of Hartford. Mobay now trying to get the ball away through Barrett. Wozencroft. Good pass across. Wow, play messed up there by Niche, who got the ball tangled up in his legs. Morgan. Niche putting pressure on. Hardware's first touch not as good as it needed to be. Deacon. And Ponza there again. Wilkinson. Otti. Wozencroft. McGregor gets in the way of Otti, who is hurt.
Has to be a foul. Has to be a foul, Carl Tyrrell. Yes, belatedly. McGregor is saying it's not, but it was, because he missed the ball and caught the man. And because he caught Otti, he prevented Otti from chasing the ball. Look at this. Yeah, that's a foul.
Otti crashes to the turf. And a free kick to Mobay, who are battling hard here to avoid defeat.
Yeah, much better second half display.
Yeah.
They rode their luck at times in the first half. But in fact, they've come closest to scoring in the second half.
Yeah. And to be fair to Mobay United, even though they're pretty poor in the standings at the moment in 10th, but they have won 2 of their 3 road games. So they have shown since the start of this season a willingness to take on home teams.
Yeah.
Hyatt in the Arnett goal. Who has the responsibility for this strike? It's this man, Camille Curlew. Plays short to Wozencroft. Curlew to the near post. Whoa, the ball bobbled by Hyatt, who holds on well second time. Anxious moments for the home team. Wilkinson. Curlew. Oldham goes wide. Rosencroft puts pressure on Oldham. Oldham thought it was Arnett's throw, but it's Mobay's throw.
Mobay have had some promising breaks in the last few minutes when they've actually outnumbered Arnett Gardens on the counter-attack, but poor ball handling has prevented them from getting a crack at Damien Hyatt. Arnett must be careful.
Making the point last week in the Reno game, George, that for 4 consecutive seasons, Mobay finished 3rd in the regular season, including 2 of the years that they went on to win the championship, actually, in 2014 and 2016. So their 9th place finish in the regular season last year was well below par. Reed breaks free for Arnett.
Just overrunning it.
Yeah, Robinson gets in there. Little Miller in goal, bobbles with the ball a bit here, has to hurry to get himself back into the goal. And does. Arnett trying to restart the game quickly to catch the goalkeeper out of his domain. Oh, Mr. Man, Morgan uses his pace. Tries to get away from Robinson, but doesn't.
Brilliant defending from Shamar Robinson.
Yeah, Robinson has done well.
Yeah, Trevor Walker gave up the ball very cheaply.
Deacon. Bit of a lazy pass out there from Curlew. Anderson now for Arnett. Niche. Good pass across to Wozencroft. Wants the return play. Niche and gets it. Niche cuts inside. Niche still with the ball. Can he get a shot off? Wozencroft under pressure. Curlew tries to force the ball inside. Walker, can he strike left-footed? Squirts wide of the goal.
Yeah, only problem I have with that passage of play was that Alan Otter was standing over on the right side of the penalty box in some space waiting. I think Niche has a hamstring problem, Lance. Saw him grab the area moments ago and he's gone down now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they call him Pogba. You can see why.
You mean because he hasn't been playing that well?
May I remind you, Paul Pogba is a World Cup winner. Played every minute. Well, not every minute. Played the ball.
What George says is club football. We're talking about club football.
Yeah. Well, I said that's why I call him Pogba. I didn't say that's why he is Pogba. Yeah, but may I remind you, in case you want to belittle Paul Pogba, he's a world champion.
I'm not belittling him for one moment, George.
And he's done what most of his critics have never done and will never do because they're too old to do it now.
Well said, George. I have no difficulties with your response.
Oh, it's cramps.
Niche. Yeah, maybe just cramps from young Niche. From a Green Pond, the Costa Cup player. The same school that ace goal scorer Dino Williams went to.
The other day on the Sports Mag Zone, the hot Montego Bay DJ Rygan King told us that his little brother plays for Green Ponds, the Costa Cup team as well.
Yeah. Deacon hustled off the ball by Trevon Walker. Free kick won here by Arnett. Could this be a vital free kick for the men in red and black? Yeah, Walker is getting his legs tangled up there with Damari Deacon. Now he's limping. Hardware. And Sims standing over the ball. Both with a goal each so far this season. Hardware. Oh, curls across. The punch-out save from Miller. And there were some players converging on the ball there, so that might have been a vital punch-out for the 19-year-old. Arnett keeping the pressure on. Wow, Walker rides on the back of Renike Anderson.
I can't see how that's a free kick against the Arnett Gardens defender though. He stood his ground. The Mobay United player Trevon Walker jumped. Look at this. How is that a foul by Reniki Anderson. This was a lovely delivery, though.
I'm not sure myself.
And a very good goalkeeping from young Miller.
Anderson almost got there with a header. Hardware. Good toss inside here. Sims, his first touch, not as good as it needed to be. Showed too much of the ball there to the hard tackling on Ponza. There goes Sims once again. Oh, turns his man well. The cross to the far post. Oh, Deacon with a strike. What a left-footed strike from the 22-year-old.
Yeah.
But the teenage goalkeeper equal to the task.
Just trying to redirect it, Damari Deacon. Couldn't get any power on it because it was up in the air when he made contact. Lovely trick by Sims to fool his man, and yeah, he's trying to knock it goalwards.
Yeah, he was just trying to steer the ball in, really, because based on how his body was set up in the air, hard to get a lot of power on it. So he was just trying to steer the ball on goal. Did get it on target. He's had a whale of a game tonight, Damari Deacon. Getting close to our man of the match selection time, George. Oh, here comes Sims. Tries to cut the ball inside. Curlew does good defensive work for his team. Doing a captain's job. Deacon. Oh, the ball set up here. Morgan with a cross inside. Fabian Reid blocked. Mobay scrapping the ball away now.
John Barrett, Lance. He's been immense tonight. How many blocks has he executed?
I'm not sure. Between himself and Ampansa, they've been tremendous tonight in defense for Mobay.
Trevor Walker got hurt under Arnett Gardens tackle last to the extent he couldn't take possession when the ball came to him.
Arnett fans now getting excited. Marvin Morgan. Morgan still with the ball. The cross inside. Reid. The punch on the front. Goalkeeper Miller. This match has turned up several gears.
What a save. What a sequence. From the double by Marvin Morgan to the cross by Sims. And Morgan with the cross in the end. Lovely cross. Beautiful goalkeeping. That's a top drawer save. Top drawer. It wasn't coming straight at him. He stuck out the left hand and put it over the crossbar. Walker still feeling the effects of a Reniki Anderson tackle from about 2 minutes ago.
What a save by Miller. Another corner for Arnett Gardens. And Miller, with his late game heroics, enters the conversation for man of the match for the second week in a row.
He has to. That was a big save.
Corner again for Arnett. Can they steal it late? Punched over the top again by
Another
Miller.
save.
I think he got his hand there.
Yes, he did.
Wow, this young man is something else. That may have been heading into the goal or very close to it.
Wow.
Arnett's fans now willing their team to score the winner late on. Curlew. Morgan with a strike, blocked by Robinson.
There was a case for a penalty though, Lance, before that.
Oh, the cross. Danger here for Mobay. Oh, Johnson, I think, just overran the ball a bit and mistimed the header. Throw to Arnett. The fans are loving the referee's call. Hardware. Wow, poor effort there from Hardware. Going for goal from distance from a bad angle.
I think he was going for a cross, Lance, and he just misjudged it. But Miller, taking some time now, Lance, as he did in that first half, after a spell of sustained Arnett Gardens pressure, I think he's just taking the opportunity to kill the momentum, to help his team to breathe, fill their lungs, and go again.
Yeah, Mobay getting ready to make another change tonight. That's Anthony Drummond.
Niche coming out.
Warming up. And O'Dane Niche, aka Pogba, exits the game. And Drummond is in. Drummond, former Anchovy high player. Oh, Niche is dancing.
He's kidding sometimes.
Yeah, he's enjoyed his night. To be fair to Mobay, given their recent form, they, I don't think, would be disturbed by getting a point from this road trip. And Arnett, if anything, would feel disappointed that they didn't collect 3 points. Here's that save again from Miller from the Fabian Reed volley.
It didn't have the power you would expect, because just to make sure he got it on target, it was the side of his foot that he met it with rather than the instep lance.
Yeah.
He sacrificed some power for accuracy. But the goalkeeper, that was a big save with the left hand.
It certainly was. And because of the close range, it was a reflex save from the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
We're in the final minute of normal time. It's been a tough night for everyone.
This is probably the best nil-all draw I've been a part of.
It's not nil-all yet, George. Let's hope that there'll be a winner somewhere along the line.
There you go.
5 minutes, we are told, added on for stoppages. So there is time for a goal. Mobay have not had a victory over Arnett Gardens in their last 5 meetings. Curlew. Ambersley. Too much weight on the pass from Ambersley. McGregor
has played well tonight.
Yeah.
Reniki Anderson answer.
Yeah. Both teams have had defenders who have been very strong tonight. Barrington and Ponsa for Mobay have been particularly good. Wow. Through the legs from Sims at Arnett.
That's a foul. That's a foul.
Yeah, foul on Javoni Sims. His ankle knocked up there.
Shamar Robinson, not taking kindly to being embarrassed, chases back and executes that tackle.
Yeah. Arnett trying to win it late. A minute 15 seconds of the 5 minutes added on already expired. Man of the moment for Mobay. Their 19-year-old goalkeeper Ian Miller sets his stalls out. Ambersley, after Morgan failed to get good control over the ball, fouled by Hardware on Curlew.
Poor play by Hardware, forcing him to have to foul. 2 men down from Mobay, yeah.
I think that's on Ponsa, is it? Or it's Robinson. Curlew hurt on that play, but he's fine now. I think maybe Robinson that's hurt. Where's that? Otti.
Looks like Otti.
Coming back in the defensive mode.
No.
It's
Robinson. Yeah,
it is
yeah,
Robinson.
just saw Otti on his feet.
So Robinson, I would suggest that he's suffering from fatigue as much as he's suffering from some blow that he just got. But Arnett, the type of team that has opposing teams chasing and using a lot of energy, especially in the last 10-15 minutes. It's almost as if Arnett Gardens just pressed the accelerator and made things more difficult for Mobay United. Walker, Robinson, still Robinson, Ambersley, wow, lost it, Deacon, Reed, slides the ball across, can Sims get to it? Yes, almost does. Really great work there by Drummond. He did really good defensive work there. Here's Wozencroft, Walker under pressure. Robbed of the ball by Oldham. Hardware. Morgan. Great pass inside to Reed. Ball slides past him though. Reed flicks the ball inside. Sims can't control. Neither does Walker. Morgan. Barrett with a clearance out. Sims with a strike from distance.
Foul.
It's foul.
Yeah. No, it's Mobay ball when it comes back. It's offside. Yeah.
Offside call against the Deacon, is it?
The man of the match, Lance. Miller, Reniki, and the two leading candidates for me.
I still think Amponsa is a part of the conversation. He's been tremendous tonight, Amponsa, for Mobay United.
Yeah, but Amponsa hasn't been better than his midfield central defensive partner, John Barrett, who's also made some crucial blocks.
There's the almost goal line save from Anderson as well.
Yes.
This is a really tough call. Really, really tough. To be quite honest with you, George, I am more inclined to give a Mobay United player the man of the match if it is, so tight between them because of the difficulty they have had here coming with this road fixture against an Arnett team.
Point taken.
I'll take Miller. That man in goal. Miller and Amponsa, stalwarts defending for Mobay United tonight and earning a 0-0 draw. So both teams stretching their win-less record to 4 games and failing to capitalize on the fact that the leaders lost yesterday. 0-0 at full-time, Arnett Gardens and Montego Bay. Back with our post-game show after the break.
Say one bag of gold medal pan me now. Red stripe alone champion boy go. Pan a pour them a sing anthem. Red stripe, watcha. Man shall I better forward boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy score. Every goal winner run from boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy now. Back down we run the marathon boy. The Red stripe Premier League champion boy. Yeah yo.
A tough battle here between two teams that have won 9 titles between them. Arnett Gardens, 5-time champions. Mobay, 4-time champions. Both teams winning 4 of the last 5 Premier League titles. And from the outset, Arnett Gardens were putting the visiting Mobay United under pressure. Right with a cross inside and the punch away there by young Miller in goal for Mobay United. Arnett continuing to have a lot of the early play. An opportunity here for Steve Clark, but he lobs the ball much too high. Mobay continuing to be under a lot of pressure early in the piece. Fabian Reed inside to Deacon. Deacon's cross gives trouble to the Mobay defense, and although Fishnell Harris crashes into the net there was the foul on Kenneth Curlew before that, so the play was called back. There's Tamara Deacon with a left-footed strike from probably 30 yards over the top. Young Miller going for it though. Another good moment here. Here comes Jordan Fletcher. Hyatt makes himself big, blocks the effort. Shot by Curlew, cleared by Renika Anderson. Shot by Woozencroft, headed over the top by Javor Johnson. Great sequence of play, probably the best moment of the match for Mobay United tonight. There is Niche, they call him Pogba, gives the ball away. Deacon with another strike at goal, and again, Miller in goal for Mobay, equal to the task and denying the Arnett number 24. Reed breaking through, Amponsa tackles hard. Here comes Marvin Morgan, just wide of the target. Miller going across there, not sure he would have got there in time if it was going goalwards. Here comes Morgan again. Arnett continued to apply the pressure on. Oh, Reed with a shot. Miller with a punch over the top. Our man of the match present here in the last portion of the game. Denying Reed. Another opportunity, and again Miller goes up and tips the ball over. Referee Terrell sees enough. 90 minutes of football, no goals in the match, but it certainly had some big moments. And look at the number of attempts on goal by Arnett Gardens. 16 of them, 6 shots on target, 7 attempts on goal by Montego Bay United, only 3 of them on target. 28 fouls we've seen in this match, 16 of them to the visiting Montego Bay United. Just 1 yellow card in the piece though. 7 corners forced by Arnett Gardens, 3 by Montego Bay United. And look at the possession game, 50-50. Nothing between them, as is the score. Nothing between them. 0-0, Arnett Gardens and Montego Bay United. George Davis is with our man of the match, the 19-year-old Ian Miller.
Thank you very much, Lan. So he got the Man of the Match award in that match against Reno last week, and 7 days later, more heroics from Ian Miller, and he's our Man of the Match. Take this trophy, sir. This is yours. Congratulations. This is how we do it. Boom. Tell me about the game.
Well, again, we play more defensive. Coach keep emphasize on clean sheet. So I just come in. It's my third game for Montego Bay United. As I said, more minutes. As time go by, you will see me bigger, more confident. I'm not fully confident as yet, but by the time going, I'm sure I'll be a man in this league.
Tell me about that save from Fabian Reed, the volley from the cross from Marvin Morgan. We thought it was just pure instinct. You just reacted and you punch it away.
Well, I saw him. Well, coach was working on that one day, but I don't know if he remembered, but he said, get across. Once the square passes, get across quick. You have to work. So when he made the volley, I just react because I see it. He kick it with a lot of power, but I just react. And as he said that, it don't matter if the ball not going to the goal, you have to still dive, and that's what I did, and I made the save. Well,
congratulations, Ian. All the best to you. Good point on the road.
All right, thank you.
Good, that's Ian Miller, the man of the match. He plays for Montego Bay United. The reason that they're going home with a share of the spoils and not with a 0 from this fixture. Vassal, we thought that for the first half, your team may have disappointed you given the low-octane start they made to proceedings, but a much improved second half.
Oh, clearly it was a much improved performance. I saw we played with a little bit more energy in the second half. What we recognized, the basic plan was to hit the Arnett team on the counter, and we wanted to take the ball further into the half and force them to do some defensive work. You know, we know that they would come at us, so we want to get the ball further in the half and force them to do some defensive work. I thought we did that very well, somewhat. But both teams would have gotten opportunities, but our keeper came up big tonight for us.
Yeah, speaking of that, your defense and your goalkeeper outstanding man of the match performance, we thought your centre half pairing from Ponza and John Barrett, they were also immense.
Very much so. You know, I would have told you before that we have been doing a lot of work defensively. You know, it's something that we have to, we went back to, and we saw that we were allowing a lot of goals. We conceded 10 in about 8 games, and it's something that we have been working on, and the last 2 games we are pretty pleased with the clean sheet that we would have held.
Up front, still some problems for you though?
Still some problem. Unfortunately, we lost Jordan early in the second half. I thought that he would have had a little bit more punch, but I thought the youngster Niche played well. We had 2 or 3 under 20 players out there, and I thought they equipped themselves well, but it's a year of the game that we have to put in some work on.
Good point on the road.
Yeah, man, very much so. Thanks much.
Thank you, Vassal.
Yeah, man.
That's Vassal Reynolds, the coach of the Montego Bay United team. So 2 consecutive clean sheets for Vassal Reynolds and the Mobay United team getting 2 points. 1 now on the road, 1 at home against Reno. That was a disappointing performance, but a good performance here at the Jungle. Eugene Williams, the coach of Arnett Gardens tonight. You're disappointed you didn't get the 3 points, I'm sure.
I'm very disappointed, you know, because as I said, we set out to get 3 points, but such is football.
What were you most pleased about? Let's talk about the positives. What were you most pleased about the performance?
I'm going to tell you, sir, one of the better performances so far in the season, I would say. But this has been our season. We can't put the ball in the back of the net.
First half, second half, we thought that first half, they were just a little bit impatient in the last third, the Arnett Gardens team, because they were doing everything so quickly, and just a little bit more patience would have paid dividends for them.
Well, as you say, you know, patience, because that's what we have to talk to them about. It's going to come. We say the pressure is on. We want to win because we want to come from out of that bottom 6. So it's like you go out there, you definitely want to get that goal as early as possible to get the butterfly out of your belly. But as I said, the game progressed and it didn't come. But kudos to Montego Bay, kudos to them goalkeeper. They have a wonderful game. And as I said, kudos to Arnett Gardens. At least we didn't lose the game. And that is it. We'll get that point. We'll start the game on a level score. We'll finish the game on a level score.
So overall, in terms of the attitude of the team and the application, you're happy with that, but just disappointed that you didn't get the goal?
Well, that is all the thing. We didn't get the goal. We didn't get the 3 points. But I'm telling you, I'm happy with my team performance.
Thank you, Eugene. All the best.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Eugene Williams there, the coach of Arnett Gardens tonight. So Lance Whitaker, it was 0-0 here at the Tony Spalding Sports Complex. A game of two halves from Montego Bay United's perspective, because they were absent for much of the first 45 minutes. Did have a few fleeting moments, but they were by some way second best in the first half. But they gave a lot in the second half, had some very good chances, and their goalkeeper came up big.
Yeah, it's not easy to contain Arnett Gardens at home, George. We know how strong they are, especially at home. They've won 3 of their 4 home games so far this season. And to be quite honest, they played for long periods of this game tonight as if they were winners, or they were going to be winners, because of how much offensive thrust they were depositing on the Montego Bay United side. But to be fair to Montego Bay United, their defense stood up like a rock. Yeah. Barrett and Amponsa had tremendous games, and their goalkeeper put the finishing touches on their defensive acumen tonight. So it was a good night for Montego Bay to travel over 100 miles and get a point here on a season that they've been pretty poor so far.
And one of the members of the defense that we haven't spoken about, we must mention, Shamar Robinson at left back, also put in a good shift, because he came under tremendous pressure. Steve Clark was running at him, Marvin Morgan was running at him, and then Javoni Sims late in the game, and he stood up pretty well. So overall, a good defensive performance from Mobay United, 2 consecutive clean sheets, 1 on the road here at Arnett Gardens. So there are pluses, and as we said, when they get back a proven goal scorer like Dino Williams, this team can only improve, Lance.
Yeah, we have to say that, and based on what the management staff at Montego Bay is telling us, he is expected, Dino Williams, to return, a man who has scored 36 goals in the past 3 seasons, to probably be back in the next couple of weeks. So Montego Bay United with this draw, George, jumping from 10th to 7th in the table, Arnett Gardens remaining 6th with the draw. So a huge battle here between the 2 teams, and you mentioned it during commentary, probably one of the best nil-all draws that we've seen.
I can't recall doing a better nil-all draw than this one. Let's talk about some promos of games coming up on Portmore. Juventus Manchester United in the Champions League, live Wednesday at 3 p.m, 4 p.m. ECT. That's on Sportsmax 2. And then on Thursday, 2 basketball games for you. The Rockets and the Thunder, 8 p.m, 9 p.m. ECT. That's on Sportsmax, followed by the Warriors at home against the Milwaukee Bucks, 10:30 p.m, 11:30 p.m. ECT, Sportsmax 2.
La Liga continues on Saturday on the home of champions. It's a Sportsmax 2 fixture coming up at 10:15 in the morning, 11:15 Eastern Caribbean time. The defending champions, Barcelona, up against Real Betis. And then on Sunday, 2:30 in the afternoon, 3:30 EC time, Celta Vigo. They'll be up against the reigning UEFA Champions League holders, Real Madrid. Struggling at the moment in La Liga, but we do expect them to get their boots shining soon.
Yes, indeed. So 90 minutes of action here at the Tony Spalding Sports Complex. A battle of 2 former champions, 2 of the pedigreed teams in the RSPL. At the end of 90 minutes, 0-0. But it was an exciting affair. And a young goalkeeper, 19 years old, left here with the Man of the Match award, Ian Miller for Montego Bay United. His interventions caused his team to get a share of the points. That's it for us here from Red Stripe Football Mondays. Until next week.
Red Stripe, Premier League. I miss one bag of gold medal pan me now. Red Stripe alone champion boy go. Pan a pour them a singing anthem. Red Stripe, watcha. Band shall I be the forward boy. Red Stripe Premier League champion boy score. Every goal when I run from boy. Red Stripe Premier League champion boy now. Pop down we run the marathon boy. The bush never be the champion boy pano. Nah man I don't a songsters boy. Red Stripe Premier League champion boy.